When your eyes opened this morning and you didn't even realize how you returned from the depth of sleep back into this world, that moment was not awakened by any alarm. It was my presence that touched the flame of life within you again. That same invisible hand that granted every breath moving in your chest another chance. Because if I were to step back even for a moment, this day would not be written in your name. And this is not said to frighten you, but to awaken you, because you are among those souls whom I do not raise every morning without purpose. Before you, millions of eyes were closed and never opened again, but you were raised, not because you are the strongest, but because there is something unfinished within you, something for which time has still been held back for you today. And I know that as you are listening to this, somewhere within you, a voice is saying, yes, my life cannot be just a coincidence, because if you look at your journey so far, you will remember turns where everything should have ended, yet somehow you survived. Some door opened on its own, some person suddenly appeared, some path that was invisible came into being, and you never deeply thought about how all of that happened. But today, I have come to remind you that it was I, every single time, without making noise, without asking for credit, because my love is not for display. It is like a mother who stays awake even after her child has fallen asleep. And I know that there is fatigue within you, not the fatigue of the body, but of the soul, because you are broken even while smiling. You are alone even while being among people. You have left yourself behind while fulfilling responsibilities. And many times in the silence of the night, this question has risen in your mind, whether anyone truly understands you, whether there is anyone who stands with you unconditionally. And at that very moment when you felt no answer would come, I brought you here to this message, because these are not ordinary words. This is the beginning of a conversation that you have been sensing for a long time, but could not hear. And now I want to say to you very clearly that everything you have, your breaths, your body, your struggles, even your confusions, are all gifts. Because if you were created only for comfort, you would not have been given battles. And I see how sometimes you turn your face away from me, not when everything is going well, but when the pain increases, when prayers are not answered immediately, when you feel that I am silent. But my silence is not absence. It is like an artist who is doing the most important work behind the curtain. And I also know that you have been given freedom, so much that you can choose to ignore me, make your own decisions, chase your own desires, and I do not stop you, because love does not force. But I warn you, not with fear, but with truth, that every time you silence my voice and make decisions from your wounds, you move closer to paths where darkness is only waiting. It does not run, it is patient. And you may have felt why some mistakes repeat again and again, why certain people appear exactly when you are weakest, why some habits pull you back to the very place you want to escape from. This is not coincidence, this is war. And in this war, I do not want to leave you unarmed, but a shield only works when you stand behind it. And today, I have not come to blame you, but to call you back, because where you thought you were broken, I saw you being prepared. Where you saw your tears as weakness, I saw them falling into the ground like seeds. And very soon, those same tears are going to bear fruit that will leave you astonished. But for this, you must pause, you must listen, and you must remain with me until the end. Because what I am about to show you is greater than your understanding so far. And yes, I know you think your prayers are small, your dreams incomplete, your condition ordinary, but I have never created ordinary miracles from ordinary soil. And if today this message is shaking you from within, it is because your soul is recognizing me, just as a child recognizes its mother's voice even in the dark. And this is only the beginning, because ahead, I'm going to show you something that will leave your thinking, your fears, and your past behind. Now listen, because from here, I am going to touch those things that you have often hidden, not only from others, but even from yourself. I know how many times you have tried to appear strong while something else was happening inside. I know how many times you have said, "I'm fine," while a voice inside was screaming that nothing is fine. And this contradiction is slowly exhausting you, because a person breaks the most when they are forced to play the role of being strong in every situation. And that is exactly what you were doing, walking through the daylight as responsible, sensible, enduring. But at night, when the world sleeps, your questions awaken. Those scenes return that you want to forget, those decisions you doubt, those opportunities that slipped away. And then you feel that maybe you were the one who fell short, maybe you were not worthy enough, maybe you made the mistake. And this is where your real struggle begins, because this battle is not external, it is internal. And internal battles are the most exhausting because they have no audience, no applause, no instant victory. Yet I have come to tell you that the time when you thought you were failing was the very time I was shaping your character. Just as gold is purified only by fire, you had to pass through circumstances whose meaning you could not understand at the time. And you may have also noticed that whenever you lost faith in yourself, something still stopped you from falling completely, some limit, some invisible wall, as if someone were saying you can fall this far, but not beyond. And that was me, because I know that if you were left alone with your full measure of pain, you would break. So I allowed pain into your life in measured amounts, only enough to make you stronger, not to destroy you. But you have a habit that pulls you back. You mistake my silence for my distance. You think that if I were on your side, everything would not be so difficult. And this is where the devil whispers into your ear. He does not come to scare you, he comes to explain. He tells you that you are alone, that your prayers have no effect, that those you trust will abandon you. And the most dangerous thing is that he deceives you through your own thoughts so that it feels like it is your own conclusion. But I want you to understand one thing very clearly. Every time despair deepens within you without reason, every time you feel exhausted without cause, every time you feel that everything is meaningless, that is not just a state of mind, it is a sign that you are looking in the wrong direction. Because when you look toward me, circumstances may not change, but your spine straightens, your soul finds support. And you may have also seen that the people who break you the most are often the ones who teach you the most. Because I do not want to give you comfort, I want to give you vision. And vision always comes after struggle. You often think about what you should do next, which path is right, whom to trust, and this uncertainty makes you restless. But I want to remind you that even when you cannot see the road ahead, you can still see the next step, and you only need to take that, because entire maps are not asked for by faith, but by ego. And you do not have ego, you have fear. And fear is not a sin. Fear is a sign that you are afraid of losing something, that hope is still alive within you. And I want to light that hope, not like a fire, but like a lamp, so that it is not extinguished by the wind, but slowly forces the darkness to retreat. And listen, do not think that your small acts of obedience go to waste. When you quietly stand on the side of what is right, when you restrain yourself instead of taking revenge, when you are tired yet do not choose the wrong path, you shake forces you cannot see. And this is why sometimes darkness tries its hardest to stop you, because it knows that if you fully awaken, if you realize who you are and who stands with you, it will not even dare to come near you. So today, I am not telling you not to fear. I am telling you to walk despite the fear, with me, in step with my voice, because I am not walking ahead of you, but within you. And the journey that looks impossible from the outside has already begun from within. And this is still not the end. This is only the moment when you begin to realize that your story is not moving toward an ordinary turn, but toward a great unveiling. because now it is not about explaining, it is about reminding you how long you have underestimated yourself. While the truth is that a protection has been woven around you that not every power can break. But to keep that protection active, you must recognize your position, because a shield does not become a shield until the warrior stands behind it. And for a long time you have either moved ahead and taken wounds yourself, or stepped back thinking that maybe this war is not meant for you, while the truth is that this war cannot be complete without you. And I know that hearing these words, a strange seriousness is settling within you, as if a forgotten responsibility has suddenly been remembered, because your soul knows that you were not called only to be rescued, but to stand. And now I am going to tell you something you may never have heard this way before. Darkness does not intimidate you because you are weak. It intimidates you because there is authority within you. And authority is never loud. It is calm. It is steady, like a lion that does not need to roar to prove its strength. And you may have noticed that as you try to remain firm on the right path, obstacles suddenly increase. Things become complicated without reason. People turn opposing without cause. Your mind is repeatedly distracted. Because this is not coincidence, it is reaction. It is a sign that you are stepping into a territory where your presence matters. And now I want to make it clear to you that protection does not mean you will never feel pain. Protection means that pain will not define you, injury will not stop you, and falling will not become your end. Because every time you fall and rise again, you make a path not only for yourself, but for those who cannot see you yet, but will one day recognize themselves in your story. And this is why I am not hiding you, I am preparing you. Because hidden people may remain safe, but they do not bring transformation. And you have been chosen for transformation, even if you are afraid to accept it right now. And I know that a question also rises within you, whether you are truly worthy, whether your past mistakes disqualify you. But listen, authority does not come from perfection. Authority comes from obedience. And every time you chose truth over ego, every time you chose the right path over the easy one, at that very moment a seal was placed within you that no one can erase. And that is the seal that sets you apart from the crowd. Because even if you consider yourself ordinary, ordinary people do not feel this calling rising within them. And now it is time for you to change the direction of your thoughts. Because what you think continuously becomes your boundary. And I do not want to see you limited. I want to see you rooted. Like a tree whose roots are so deep that storms may shake its branches but cannot uproot it. And this rootedness does not come from outside, it comes from within. When you decide that no matter what happens, you will not leave your place, you will not abandon your values, you will not abandon the voice that gives you life. And from that very moment, protection becomes active, because you are no longer just being saved, you are walking together. And I want you to also understand that your silence is not weakness, your waiting is not wasted, and your loneliness is not punishment, it is training. So that when you are placed among the crowd, you can stand not like the crowd, but like direction. And very soon you will experience moments when you look back and understand that everything that came to break you became the instrument that